Hi, and welcome to another episode of Honest to a Malt with Mike, aka Two Puds, and Duncan. So, Mike, what's the name of the episode today, my friend?
Today we are on episode 18, and it is Whisky Room 101.
Lovely. It's also very nice to see you recording through your actual microphone.
Yes,
and,
apologies for not
through a dustbin.
Yeah. I thought I'd experiment with a tiny little microphone inside a toilet roll tube. Didn't work, but hey, we've got to try these things. So.
Experiment failed there.
We are back to nice, throaty, deep basses.
Ooh, you sound lovely and bassy. Beautiful.
Yes.
So, what's been in your glass, and what's been annoying you? What's been going on? Because this is 2 weeks since we did a pod, isn't it?
We've had a break. What's been in my glass is quite a spectacular lineup of Glen Scotias. They've also been in your glass as well. So, just wanted to give a very quick thank you to Ian from Glen Scotia, who essentially sorted out my blind tasting session by providing unicorn whiskies, I'm going to say. Somewhat.
Unicorn whiskies.
Yeah.
100%.
We basically, we were drinking 31-year-old Glen Scotias. Ian sorted those out for free. I donated everyone's money from blind drams to charity. So we had Parkinson's UK made a bit of money, and so did a Glasgow hospice that looks after those coming towards the end of their days and tries to just treat them with a bit of dignity and respect. So thank you, Ian. It really did go down well across the whole of the sort of whiskey world of those that got involved in the after effect of blind drams once they saw the reveal. So yeah, that's been in my glass. What's in my glass at the moment?
Oh, just on that before you move on, because it's Ian McAllister, isn't it?
It is.
And you should mention also, I think one of the charities was connected to Gary Mills.
Yep. Yeah. So
Mills.
It was the hospice looked after Gary's dad before he passed recently. So that was sort of reason behind it. And then the theme was Back to the Future for the tasting. So hence the Parkinson's UK donation. So
yeah, it was lovely. There was it was nice to get a warm fuzzy feeling, not only from lovely whiskey, but also from having to make money to charity. Oh, it was really nice, Mike. You did really well. So, I mean, I say on behalf of everyone else, I think people who said it, but thank you very much for organising it. Big thanks to Ian. And also, they scored very well, didn't they?
They did. We did all right. I wish some of the later scorings would be done, but I don't think Brian's going to include them because that could have rocked me up to the top of the charts. But
could have gone into number one.
Yeah, well, not bitter. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, I say there was a real split between the younger and the older Glen Scotias. I think they varied from sort of 10-ish years up to, like you said, just over 30 years. The older ones were definitely richer. The younger ones livelier.
A lot of people didn't like the older stuff, which is weird. And I think Ian sort of said as well, obviously he's way before his time at the distillery and things, so it doesn't bother him putting it out because, it's not his work ultimately that's being judged, it's someone else's.
You said that was really split. People either loved it or just thought it was okay-ish.
Yeah.
But, it was very rich.
It was a weird tasting. It was like an average high, but then you either had sort of lower scores at either end. There was no one really liked them all or thought they were all spectacular. It was very much...
I love Dram 4, whichever one that was.
I think that was like the 28-year-old, I think it was. Can't remember.
I scored that a 5, that one.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the only person, so for some people that was lovely stuff. Go on, so what else has been in your glass?
What is in my glass at the moment, I thought, due to the excessive amount of bottles open, I'm not opening anything else. Right. So I've dived into my sample collection, which again, I'm not going to give you a number because that'll make you sick, but I have a rather large bucket, so not far off the ones that a builder would have to move rubble around, filled with sample bottles. So
you've had a rummage around and you pulled something
I've rummaged around. I literally pulled out a random, and it's a Paul John peated select cask, 55.5%. From Shilton. He gave me this sample, and it's one of the originals. I think it's from August 2018. So
sounds all right to me.
A little bit old, and it's absolutely lovely. It's won loads of awards. I think it's one of the reasons Paul John suddenly landed on everyone's radar was because of this particular dram. Right. So, absolutely lovely. But I'll swing it round to you. So, Duncan, what's in your glass?
Honest to a malt, yeah. Honest to a malt.
Well, right now I'm having a glass of this Canmore. Canmore were kind enough to send some samples through, and I'm in Tumbler Club moment. I'm drinking the single malt 40% as my warm up dram for the night.
Nice.
And I've got lined up after that a Surf, Sea and Shore from SMWS. I just wanted to say on this Canmore whiskey, because it's not usually something that I would drink sort of 40% single malt, but I do actually really like it. I'm not just saying that, it is actually really good. No off notes.
You know you're going to have the people going,
I know I'm going to get into trouble.
Because it's free.
No, I get that. But at the same time, I did actually give it to 3 friends who don't drink too much whiskey but like whiskey to try. And so I thought, let's see what they think of it, because that's more relevant than what I think of it. So I did like a people's taste test, if you like. And they were saying they were getting things like on the nose lime, sour pear, maple syrup, orchard fruits, gooseberry, cinnamon, not thin. Lots of vanilla, pear liquor, honey, clean, fresh. People like the bottle, people like the value.
So would you say they're whiskey novices?
Yeah, they're people that don't drink much whiskey at all. What else do they say?
Perfect.
Smells. My parents came over as well, so they got to try it. They said it smells nice. Chocolate. Hang on, no, wait. Hang on. I directly quote them. Smells nice. Lovely smell. Very nice. Chocolate. And I said, can I quote you on that? They said, my dad said, better than Singleton.
Oh, no way.
Johnny Walker, better than Johnny Walker drinks. I guess he means black. He said it's an easy sipper, no burn. Label he quite liked. Looks decent. Dad said it was light and buttery after he'd read the back of the bottle.
Yeah.
he then read the back of the bottle and went, oh yeah, it is light and buttery. I went,
brilliant.
Okay, fair enough. And he went, I do get the red berries and the spice. I was like, and the power of persuasion.
Yeah, that's where your influence ends, old man.
So whilst I think it is very nice, and I have to say that, the real test there was in the proof of the pudding, and I'm going to keep giving it to people that don't drink too much whiskey. And if they report back positively, I will share that.
That's good, though. That's exactly kind of what, when you're putting bottles out at that ABV and you're also putting other bottles out at a stronger percentage, those 40s are for doing exactly that, introducing 100%. Someone. So if you're getting like decent, like positive tasting notes out of people, happy days. That's good.
I think so. And that lots of people don't like to have very strong whiskey. It's just us nutters that do. So for them, 40% is plenty a lot of the time, although I have to say it doesn't really taste thin. The other thing is it comes in 2 options. Like, this is really weird. You can buy it in both 50 sil and 70 sil for like £25 or £35. So, I mean, if you wanted, I mean, I don't know what to say about that more, but I was really thinking, how will it really be? I'm just saying it's decent. That's it. We can move on from it now.
Fair.
And then, I don't know. I mean, I've tried a bunch of stuff. You're right. The highlight of the last 2 weeks was probably the Glen Scotia.
Yeah.
And in other news, we had to go back to the school and they found the frozen cap.
No way.
Yeah.
Was it handed in? Do you think they heard the podcast and thought the fuzz were going to come smash them up?
I just think that, like you said, a toddler had taken it and then handed it in. And then something else which has been occurring to me, we were out on a night out recently. Not that we have fun, but we were just forced
responsible adulting.
And a friend was saying to me about, as you get older, particularly when you get past 30, you don't listen to any new music anymore. And apparently, like, music they've done research, scientists have done research, and science says that people's musical tastes are established by the age of 14 largely. And then they listen to that kind of music. And then as they get older, they don't really listen to new music. So it's 2 ways to look at it. So what I forced myself to do, by the way, did a run today, is I forced myself to start listening to new bands, bands that are recent anyway, right? So usually if I was going to go for a run and I wanted to listen to, say, heavy rock or metal, I would listen to something I know. But today I listened to a British band called Urn, which was somewhere between 80s thrash and Mastodon. Anyway, point is, what's annoying me is getting old and being labelled as one of these people that won't try anything new, getting told that I'm closed to new experiences. So I'm pushing.
I nearly tried to counter that by saying, yeah, but we had like much better music taste. We're eclectic. We had a wide range of things. I went, that's literally what they're saying.
That's what they're saying as well. Exactly. Doesn't mean you can't listen to old music. It's just that people apparently don't continue to listen to new music.
Yeah,
so it's really hard true. If you're a new band or something, or a new musical outfit, you're not going to get fans who are over 30. That's a really hard audience to push your music to.
Yeah, I think I cut off at Wham. Nothing after that. Just done. Just there for life.
So, but this made me think. Right, let's say because we've got a daughter. She's coming up for 4. Let's say we never really exposed her to much music at all. Like we didn't listen to it in the car, don't listen to it at home, and then just like when she's between 11 and 14, we only listen to like something really random, like I don't know. Like kids Mr. Blobby music or something. And then that's be all she liked for the rest of her life.
To be like 40-year-old listening
be a party
to Mr.
just going,
Blobby.
can you put Mr. Blobby on again?
I love it.
No.
So good.
But
no,
also
that is true. I don't listen to anything new. Lara looks at me when I'm in the car. I'm like, nope. Veto, next. And do you know what I've listened to? I have listened to Heart 90s.
Heart 90s.
90s was the best period for music ever. Not at the time, you thought it was a bit rubbish. And then even like up until recently, I thought it was rubbish. But when you actually go back and listen to it, they were happier days. My word, they were
happier days. Yeah. Radiohead, to be fair, Radiohead tried to bring it down. But but on balance, a happier time.
That could have been where it started creeping down.
Yeah, it could have been. Oh, I forgot something as well. I went out to SMWS Greville Street.
Yep.
And tried the 50-year-old cognac they've got, the 70s one from 73. And I've never tried a 50-year-old cognac before, but if that
was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for sure. It wasn't the sort of transcendent experience I was hoping for. I wasn't taken away to a different place, but it was a very good drink. Not disappointed. And my other top tip is people are always saying about, how people are always saying, go to Ireland to drink Guinness.
Yeah.
You have to drink Guinness in Ireland. No, you don't need to worry about that. Just go to a Sam Smith's pub and order a pint of extra stout.
I did see you had that, and yeah.
I've never tried extra stout from Sam Smith's, and shoot me, that's my fault. That's on me.
Yeah.
But now I'm obsessed about it. I can't stop thinking about it. I just want to get back on the tube and go to like Holborn or near to Tottenham Court Road. I want to go back to a Sam Smith's pub, sit down and just drink 3 or 4 pints of that stout. It is incredible.
I think we need to do that, mate.
Honestly, I was speechless.
Really?
It's so thick and so creamy. Even now, I'm getting put off just thinking about it. So that's my top shout.
Yeah, I don't think I've had it in pint form. I've only done bottles of their stouts, so I'm going to have to experience it.
I started with a bottle, and then when I went back to the bar the next time, because I've been to Sam Smith's pubs a few times, and obviously just hadn't noticed the fact they did this extra stout. So I said, what do you recommend? And they said, well, you've been having a bottled stout. Why don't you try? They were like, why don't you try our actual stout from the tap? And I was like, oh, right. You have a, yeah, sure. I'll have a pint of that. And it's thicker than Guinness. It's just outrageous.
Have you tried the Brewdog stout?
Maybe. In the pub.
Be interesting. I'd like to do a lineup. Guinness, Brewdog, Sam Smith.
We can put you in a lineup, Mike, if you want to. Chinese Mike, Two-Fids. See if you get picked out.
Screwed.
Well, you were telling me before we started this call that you got your hairdresser mistook you for being Chinese.
My Turkish barber thinks I'm Chinese.
Right.
Because my eyes close when I laugh. So a bit racist on his part, but I don't think he's doing it in a nasty way. It's so just an observation.
Whilst we are observing things, your Hulk Hogan mustache / beard has gone a bit more ginger, hasn't it?
Right. Do you know what it was? It didn't go blonde. I actually investigated, and it's just patches where it wasn't growing. So that was just my skin showing through.
Right. I was going to say, you're more Ed Sheeran than Hulk Hogan.
I've taken it down a notch in the realization I cannot grow a beard, so I don't deserve to have that growth. And
so did you see, and I think you might have missed this, but in case you saw it, something perked my interest on Twitter, aka now X. Yeah,
X to the Z. Didn't he? Yeah, his exhibit has gone in a weird direction. I never thought he'd run a social media thing, but
yeah. Anyway, so someone posted something, and I think it was from the States. Basically, somebody went over somebody's house to drink some drams, like they invited them round, and then they were giving them the drams, and then they asked for money to pay for them.
Fuck. Oh, I'm trying not to swear, but dear Lord, no.
Like a home bar. So I don't know.
Fuming.
Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever heard about
No. I couldn't even imagine how I would react. I'd probably just go, yeah, I haven't got any cash, mate. I'll pay by card. I haven't got PayPal. And then I'd probably try and steal something from their bar.
I bet they're doing it sketchily on PayPal as well.
Just
transfer their money.
Friends and family. Friends and family.
Yeah, friends and family. I wonder if they put tick the other option. Just turn them into a business. Force them to become a business.
Don't put any messages.
Did you? I wonder if they put prices on it, or if they just sort of ask for money at the end. It's absolutely horrendous, isn't it? It sort of belies the whole idea that whiskey is for sharing. And
what you're doing there, you're running a fucking speakeasy. It's like,
it's back to
hey, it's prohibition mode.
Yeah, it's prohibition.
Yeah.
People. Yeah, you've just there was. Yeah.
Every I did think it was strange. I went to his house and he pulled on a lamp and the bookcase opened, and I went in and I had some lovely bourbons, but he tried to charge me. Unbelievable.
But it made me think. You know, when like a friend brings, so someone comes around your house, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know they're going to pay. And then at the end of the night, they've brought a bottle round and you try to charge them corkage on it. That's what it made me think of. They're like, hang on, you just pass them a bill and they look down and say, hang on, what's this 20 quid here? Oh, you opened the bottle when you were around here.
You brought your own.
Drink out of.
Yeah. In case they ever listen, they probably will actually do that. It takes a special kind of person reserved there, because I was going to swear, to do that. I wouldn't have the audacity, the cojones to even remotely bring up trying to suggest. Like, can you imagine when you've been to my house? Oh, mate, yeah, come over. Yeah, I got so many whiskies. You have had 7. They range from varying ages, but we round it down to 60 quid. I think we're in a good place.
We'll just call it 60 quid.
Yeah.
Locks the door.
Oh yeah. Okay, did you just leave a card when you come in? Just do you want to set up a tab? Just leave a card there. Yeah. Hide the card.
Sorry, did you want your car keys back? That expensive
Not that we're saying
drink
drive.
That expensive coat that I put in my cupboard. Yeah, don't drink drive, but that expensive coat that I've stored in my cupboard. Do you want that back?
You know those shoes? The left one I'm going to keep until you pay off your tab.
I'll tell you what, you're not going to pay today, but we'll just call it a tab. We'll leave it behind the bar. It's open. You can settle up whenever you want, as long as it's in the next 3 months.
And if you don't, I'll break your legs. So, yeah. It's fine.
Just start taking that's how it spirals, right? Before you know it, they're coming round. They're chasing the money. They've outsourced it.
They're coming after you and shooting cream guns at you like Bugsy Malone.
Oh, my days. Whoever that is needs to take a look at themselves.
Get a grip and do one.
So, onwards to the main subject of today's pod, which is Whiskey Room 101.
Yes.
Are you aware of where Room 101 came from?
I remember it as who was the host? Was it Frank Skinner?
There's been a few hosts.
I think Skinner was my period, or Paul Merton as well. I want to say those two.
They've both hosted it. That's true.
Don't remember any
also,
others.
Maybe Julian Clary might have hosted it for a while.
Oh, really?
As well. I think so. But even before that, have you read the book 1984?
Part of it got bored.
So file with The Godfather and Sopranos for you. Yeah, right. We're putting a picture on you, Mike, aren't we? Less and less.
It's got to be a bit faster paced. Dragged on a little bit. Yeah, decent. Okay.
Right.
Let's get to the inevitable breakdown of society first. Bit quicker, and you might keep interested.
It's not even a long book, to be fair. But anyway, point is, they have this Room 101.
1,984 pages.
No, it's only it's like 250 pages. So there is like Room 101 is like your worst fear, basically, and it's what they use in George Orwell's 1984. That they learn your worst fear and then they use it against you. So that's where it comes from, and then that became like a thing at the BBC, and then apparently that led to like the Room 101 page or whatever. And I don't know if it's intentional, but obviously binary, 1 means like 1, 0, I mean like on or off or yes, no, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's literally like room, yes, no, yes as well.
Yes, no.
I don't know if that's linked or not, but I feel like if that isn't, that's like another connection. So anyway, what they do is on this TV show, is people come on and they pitch things they want to put into Room 101. So what I thought we'd do is we would take it in turns to pitch something to each other. And then we have to mutually agree if it's going to go into room 101 or not. If it's going to be banished into the depths of hell. Yeah. It's one of the worst things possible in the world of whiskey.
This could be controversial, but yeah, I'm happy. More than happy.
So far we've been, we've completely been angelic. We haven't been controversial at all in the first 17 episodes, have we? So time to bucket. In fact, before we even get into that, I forgot to say kudos to Master of Malt, because they changed their whiskey competition. Remember what we talked about in the last pod 2 weeks ago? We said
tagged them as well.
They should run 2 separate competitions, one for distilleries and one for bottlers and brands. And lo and behold, they're doing that. So we could take credit for it, or we could just say thanks.
Again, I'm going to say you. I had no involvement in that. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I think it's terrific from Master of Malt to change it like that. I'm sure distilleries would be happier as well. So anyway, room 101.
Yep.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to go first?
I want to go first. I'm going to go straight in, and I'm going to put the entire distillery of Jura into room 101.
Oh my days! Takes a sip of strong 60% whiskey and calm yourself.
I have had some absolute shockers from that distillery, and I can't help myself but go back, because I think maybe it was a one-off, maybe it was something else.
Oh my gosh, it's like that wound. You can't. It's like when you've hurt yourself. You can't. You have to keep pushing the wound.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, it still hurts.
Yeah, it's like a dog if they get a cut, they keep just licking it. And it never heals. Just like that's why you got the cone. So I am in the whiskey world. I've got a cone.
You've got a cone on your head, and it's full of Jura. Yeah. They would just keep topping it up.
It's just the same size as the door on the visitor
You're drowning
center,
in it.
And I'm like, I can't get in, but I'm like, keep trying. You can go anywhere else, but not the Jura. Yeah.
So what is it? What is it you don't like about?
I don't know what it is. It's something within there. New make spirit, I guess, is just not ticking with me. There's been the odd one I've liked, which is I think is why, because I've done tastings and stuff, and I've always
You've really tried.
Hands up and gone, look, I don't generally get on with Jura, but these couple were all right. And generally, if I'm just like doing straight tasting notes, I'm not getting on with things too well. But like I remember sending a dram in the post, not a dram. Right. I had a few drams and sent an entire bottle to, I think it's been mentioned before, an old podcast that used to run, This Is My Dram. And they had a chart of really rubbish whiskies. And when I sent it, I put hazard tape around it and stuff. So already started honing their sort of views on it before they'd even tasted it. And yeah, it absolutely plummeted on their chart. Everyone hated it. I gave it to.
Oh dear. There is a consistent thing that a lot of people don't seem to be too keen on Jura. But let me make the counter view, which is part of everyone's whiskey journey is supermarket whiskey.
Yep.
And, I have fond memories of drinking, for example, Jura Prophecy, Superstition. Not all of them. Some of them, you're right, not very good. But I think that they're a part of, the sort of whiskey journey, and they also used to be heavily discounted at supermarkets, probably for a reason.
Yeah,
but
can't think why.
I've had many a fine evening drinking either Prophecy or Superstition. So
yeah,
whilst I get where you're coming from, I think it's a hard one for me to agree to put in.
I think the devil
101.
himself made Superstition, so it's quite difficult to argue with the devil.
Hey, it's got one of the greatest names of a whiskey ever. Superstition is such a good name.
Yeah, they could do a song about that. I think it's catchy.
Yeah, they probably should do. But and so's Prophecy. These are amazing names. Their marketing was incredible on that range.
But you just think,
and also they had the symbol like Prince. Prince had became their symbol. They had that little anchor with the little thing and the bits coming out. That's
what got me into that bottle in the first place.
That's
I remember
iconic.
Seeing it going, that's decent. Look at that.
You can't put it in just for the marketing. The names and the marketing alone.
I'm not putting it in for the marketing. I'm
you
putting it in for the taste of the stuff they're putting out in general.
We have to both agree though. And I'm saying you've done a great job on pitching it, but
I'm still wearing the bloody cone.
Yeah, still wearing the cone. Do you know what?
Whiskey cone of shame. I'm still wearing it. Jura is back to you. put something good out, please, at a reasonable cost. Because the only ones I've really liked were your really expensive drams, and I'm not ever spending money on Jura unless it comes down to like a decent price.
Hey, it's also it's part of the view from Bunnahabhain, so it
is.
I think also for that reason you can't put it in because it's part of one of the greatest veranda views in the world.
Yeah, but those straits will still be there. You can't see the distillery.
No, but you can see it on the horizon, right? Not the distillery, but the hills or whatever the area.
Yeah. You can see you can hear the laughter when they're bottling prophecy.
They've all been discontinued now, prophecy and superstition. Anyway, if it's okay with you, Mike, I'm going to say no to putting that one in.
It's fine by me. You can veto it. It's fine.
But feel free to say no to whichever one I'm about to pitch.
I definitely won't do it just because you said no to mine. But yeah,
definitely. Well, in fact, and that dictates what I'm going to choose next. I'm going to go straight in for the most obvious one.
Go on.
Whiskey Stones.
Oh.
And let's look at it. And we know, everyone knows they're bad. But, I mean, they should not be allowed to be produced.
How many sets have you had given to you?
In my life, about 3.
Yeah.
And they've all been mysteriously misplaced or lost.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that annoys me about them the most is they always generally come in one of those little bags. You know, the little bags with the ties.
Yeah.
Like it's
so
something
you can't lose them.
Well, also, like it was something that, you know, was being given to you by a monk or something, like some sort of special experience. I've never tried heating them up to see if they work in reverse, but I think that might be their actual purpose. Keep stuff warm rather than keep stuff cold, because they do not keep anything cold.
Yeah, and why would you want cold?
Stone,
it just closes down the whiskey and takes away the flavors, the aromas, everything else.
But if you were going to have, if you wanted to, for example, I had a glass of milk and honey during the week, and I may have needed to put ice in it. Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, right? But did you put ice in there to have a bit of dilution?
Bit of both, really. I just
it's not close.
I took a sip.
You haven't gone, oh, I'm going to put this in the freezer, not let it freeze, and then come out so it's not as much going on. You've done it so there's a bit more water in there, which just lessens the ABV a little bit.
No, because it's not high ABV anyway. I just had a sip of it and just went, I'm not feeling it today. And I went, do you know what? I'll just chuck a large ice cube in it and that's going to make it more palatable. And it did. So I'm just saying, you know, ice has its place. But I would never have said, oh, I'm not feeling this today. Let me get the whiskey stones out of the freezer, put those in it. Oh, it's still the same temperature, but now I've got whiskey stones in my drink.
And a chipped glass.
Yeah, besides... Can't you just get a stone from the beach or something and stick that in the freezer? Can't you just get pebbles from the beach?
Have you had the metal ones as well?
Mike, this is it. We're going to start selling our own whiskey. It's going to be called Whiskey Pebbles, and they're pebbles from the beach that was stolen.
There we go.
We're going to put them in our own little bags.
We're going to create metal squares that really, really quickly change temperature. So any cooling they did have is going to go almost instantly, and you've just got stuff knocking your teeth when you try and drink.
That's the other thing. They knock into your teeth, don't they? I can't think of a single positive.
No, I am pulling that lever. You don't even know to go into it anymore. They are done.
We may not be able to get lever sounds for this, so I feel like we need to do them with our mouths. So I'm going to try.
That was I don't know what that end was.
Rubbish. Do anything.
Maybe
Saves you trying to find a sound effect.
Don't you open that trap door. There's whiskey stones down there. Yeah, it was good.
Don't you open that trap door.
That's one of those classic sort of TV programs you forget ever existed until you sort of do it and you see it and you go, oh, I can remember episodes, I can remember lyrics of the theme song.
I'm doing like head movements now.
Yeah,
because you said that. Like that's one of those things that's up there with the Raccoons theme tune.
Yeah. What about Count Duckula? Do you remember that?
Oh, that was also very good. All very good.
Nanny. Yeah. Was it Nanny? Classic.
I don't know.
Because David Jason was Duckula, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Might have made that up, but
no, I think he was.
He was.
But it's a good theme tune. It's all about the theme tune, isn't it?
Yeah. See? My head might not be able to remember things for exams, etc., but you throw some 80s stuff at me and there's stuff locked in there because clearly I stopped learning at 14. Along with music, I just stopped paying attention.
So can you think of any positives at all for Whiskey Stones, that any redeeming features at all that could stop them? Well, we already put them in.
Yes, the only redeeming feature is that someone that is utterly clueless about whiskey thinks they're doing something nice for you, and they get to
Buys
think
them
you've
for you.
done something nice. And it's like, because they're
That's
always
another
good
reason-
presentation. And you're
That's
like,
another reason they
yes.
should go in the. That's another reason
Yeah.
they've gone in there, because what happens is people buy them for you, and it's just a complete waste. It's a waste of everything. Isn't
You
it?
can't
So-
tell them that. If you go, I've
No.
bought you these whiskey stones, you go, well, they're shit. They don't work. What's the point? Thanks. Take them back. Here's a pebble. Branded Honest to Malt Pebble 2023.
It's a bag of Honest to Malt beach pebbles. Stick those in the freezer. They're going to chill your drink right out. Plus, you get the whole beach vibe going on.
I don't even need to go to like the beach. I could just go to the garden centre and get some Scottish pebbles and then just carve a H into it.
Hey, whilst we're DIYing this stuff, we should just start putting wood chips in whiskey and just claiming extra age. Maybe stick some extra dirt in it as well.
Yeah.
Let's go full DIY, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's like natural colour. So we're not adding E, we're just putting mud in there to make it a bit darker.
Just darken it a little bit
Or
with some mud.
crushing up ants. Something like that. Just got a bit of blood. Yeah, there you go. That's the natural ant colour. Forget the legs and the little antennas.
Is this the one? Is this the one that has been coloured with ants? It is.
Yeah.
It's very organic.
Careful, Honest to Malt. Sorry, Master of Malt might actually put this out. Considering some of the stuff they've put out recently. Like the,
warning, not vegan.
Yeah, not vegan. And don't get it confused with bourbon biscuits release. Because they've put some mad stuff out.
Oh, the bourbon biscuit thing we have to try at some point, but with other Reats and purchases, there's no room for it. And I guess it's one of those things that's going to be around for a while. So over to you. What's the next one for? We've gone Jura Distillery, not in. Whiskey Stones, very much in. Room 101.
I could have reached for my next one. It's the, again, controversial, the classic whiskey water jug.
I did. Thing is, I had no idea, because we did discuss this before. I had no idea what you were gonna come up with. I would never have called that in a million years. You're gonna have to really pitch this hard to me.
Right? Have you ever used a whiskey water jug?
Well, okay.
Realistically,
this is a bad start because no, I haven't.
No, you haven't. But you like the idea of it. Yeah?
No, I've never even considered it, to be honest.
No.
There was a time when Whiskey Daddy made whiskey jugs for people, and I think we should just be really clear. And I think he then donated the money to Ukraine, and that was lovely. And I haven't got one of those jugs, but there are many people with those.
Yeah, and imagine they're full of dust.
Dust and hope.
Yeah,
they're full of dust and hope.
And I mean, the hope can stay there, but
no, but they're nice. I saw them; they were really nicely made ceramic jugs. My problem with it would be that I'm already beset with clutter.
Right.
So it's more clutter.
Yeah, but so are whiskey stones. You're not going to use the whiskey stones, but like people know what they are.
I know already what I'm getting you for Christmas. It is a whiskey jug filled with whiskey stones.
I've got a branded whiskey wings whiskey thing, and I'm like, every time I do a tasting, I fill it up with water, and not once have I ever even leaned across and tried to use it, because generally you add like such a small, minuscule amount of water to it. If I did it, I'm literally just going to go dunk, and I certainly don't want to put my finger in it to see if it's warm or cold, Mr. Patterson.
To check the temperature.
So, yeah, 100% for me. I think utterly useless, lovely to look at. They look nice on a shelf, but no, let's get
What
rid
about
of
all those?
all
What about all those
jugs.
commetrive whiskey jugs, Mike?
Yeah, just think of it. Yeah, marketing.
Special
Marketing over the years.
Have you never looked at a distillery that you love with one of their beautiful ceramic jugs?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you saying you don't like jugs? You're saying you don't like jugs. It's one of their beautiful ceramic jugs.
Yeah.
And it's got a lovely pattern on it and maybe the year and something else.
Fine.
And
just make a tumbler or something else. Make it something I can use. I prefer to drink out of a mug that's got a nice design from the distillery than something that I'm not going to use, not going to fill with water. And if you did fill it up, it's probably got dust in it anyway. So, whiskey jugs, to me, no.
I mean, it's peripheral that I don't need. So,
yeah,
okay, I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna say it goes
begrudgingly accepting.
I think so, because I can't think of any reason to defend it because I'm not into them.
No, but I don't know anyone who is.
Well,
and if you want to like have somewhere to keep water, just put it in a glass and have a teaspoon.
Actually, what I do is I put water in my hand.
Yeah.
Just so I know what the temperature of the water is. Oh, okay. So let's do the noise again. So it's going to go into, see if we can get it consistent.
Don't you open that trap door. There's whiskey, stones, and drugs down there.
That's good, actually, Mike.
Could keep going. Could get longer.
So it's my turn to choose the next one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're on 3. Two are in room 101. I'm just having a look at what I put down. So many things. That's the thing. You think there wouldn't be that many things in whiskey, but actually there's quite a few things that annoy me. I'm going to go for failed corks.
Oh no, that was my third.
Oh no, I'll tell you what. You can do failed corks.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You think of something else, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for failed corks because there's nothing more annoying than you've bought a bottle probably from auction, or you've had a bottle in the cupboard that you should have drunk sooner. That's your own fault. But if you bought it from auction because somebody else has stored it at their home and you're just taking off their hands something they don't want, especially if it's an auction bargain, and you get it and you finally dig it out of your cupboard and you're like, oh God, I've been waiting to try this. Usually for me, it's like some sort of older G&M bottle, right? Usually it's some sort of, probably some 90s thing, or if I'm lucky, something from the, before that. And you crack it open and you whip off the seal and, the cork's broken.
Yeah.
And it just completely kills the moment.
Do you know what it means as well to me? Like, I don't know whether it is correct. I haven't spoken to the scientist that made that ridiculous claim earlier that you put out.
I'll just get him on the phone.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Dan, the scientist.
Someone. Yeah.
If it's broken or if it's gone to that extent that it's collapsing, it basically just means air has passed through it. It's completely dried out. So you've oxidated all that whiskey anyway. So you may as well have just, put a tea towel over it.
No, but if it breaks perfectly in half, then there's still got blockage. So sometimes they just go in the middle.
It shouldn't break if there's like moisture and it's doing its job.
Yeah, but does that mean that you're supposed to turn the bottles over periodically?
Apparently, you're meant to. Your entire collection is meant to be turned and things.
Is it like once a year or once every few months or something?
Oh, God. Maybe I could do one a day and then it'd just be a continuous thing.
300 bottles. You'd have to do one a day. Every day you just walk into the room and
just do one.
I don't bother with whiskey bottles that are open in the cupboard, but a couple that I might have, put to one side or whatever. I feel like I should probably turn them once in a while. So anyway, that's my pitch to you. Broken whiskey corks and the mood killer that they are.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got friends over and it's like this real ceremony moment. Right?
I had one the other day and it wasn't even like a fancy thing. I had a Bell's, the celebratory things they do. It's not decanter, but it is decanter. It's like porcelain. What are they called?
Yeah.
Anyway, those ones. So I had like a random auction thing. It was like people that haven't bidded on anything. And I was just at the end. I'd already bought a couple of bits.
Like it's only 15 quid or whatever.
I think I paid 9 plus whatever the charges were. So I was like, do you know what? And it came and it was the 1982. And I was like, the year I was born. Right. Bell's commemorating Prince William being born. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to crack that. And just went, it's going to be rubbish, I know. But straight off. And I was like, just the frustration and rage.
It also happens sometimes with very rarely, but with like newer bottles where the cork is so well
tight
into the bottle, tight, that you just pull the top off the cork when you're trying to put it out. Now that's really rare, but that can happen. And we're like, what is going on? Yeah. How difficult can it be to make a cork that actually works?
Not very, and it's called fake cork, which I would argue is probably, realistically, screw top. I don't know whether they'd last, because I think it would probably break down over time and get a bit metallic-y and minging.
Should screw tops
touch it? Yeah, but I think the fake cork seems to just be perfect. It keeps a nice tight seal, doesn't degrade. I don't think it affects anything. It might do, but who knows? Yeah. But
up with fake corks. Well, I think it's just an easy one then. So we're agreeing that we're going to put failed corks.
Failed corks.
Room 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's do the lever sound then.
We were so in time then.
We were good.
That was really good.
Yeah. A week off helped us, didn't it?
We're definitely refreshed. Not tired.
Super refreshed.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only think about Sam Smith's extra stout, but other than that, I'm fine.
No.
You'll go then.
on a whim, not thought of, quickly looked around my whiskey room at things I hate. And I'm just going to hold them up to camera quickly. It's marketing bump, mainly the coasters that you get.
Coasters?
Yeah, whiskey coasters. What is the point?
I've never even seen a whiskey coaster.
Seriously? I got hundreds of them in various places.
But can't you play that game where you put them on the table and then you try to flick them over like beer mats?
Yeah, but you can. But then for that one, it just makes me sad because it's
that one looks like a tear,
tears. Yeah, that's where it's from. Right. What am I going to do with that?
But that looks to be Glen size, doesn't it? It's a bit. If anything, that's probably anti-tumbler.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, you couldn't fit a tumbler on that one, could you?
No, and I don't know many writers from Ireland that are going to be using tumblers. Going to be using Glen Cairns. They're all going to be drinking out of pints or tumblers, or straight from the bottle. Can't get a bottle on there. Yeah, so. Rubbish, rubbish, marketing bump, mainly coasters.
I can't. I mean, thing is
that was a stretch.
I get what you're saying, but I can't agree to put it in because just generally coasters are helpful. Even though whiskey coasters seems like a step too far.
Yeah.
Sometimes coasters, as a general rule, they're especially at pubs. If you've got a table and someone spilt their pint or whatever.
Yeah, for a pint, that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm still saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
How often do you draw going? Are you feeling? Pour that whiskey and miss the glass and just soak a table.
Well, maybe it's for people that drink whiskey glasses full to the brim.
Maybe, maybe.
Know.
Fine.
I still think, given the fact that they're not really irritating they're not really that irritating. I can't agree to put it in.
Fine. I don't care because I thought of it on the spot because you took my other one. But
yeah, well, you should have more ideas, shouldn't you? That's your own fault.
Yeah, exactly. I'm prepared as usual.
Yeah. So, I don't know if this one's just a bridge too far.
Go on.
Well, in a way, one of the things that most annoys me is, there's been this whole sort of new thing about not like alcohol, fake alcohol. So you got gin non-alcoholic gin actually tastes really good.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, you want to I don't drink gin that regularly, but if I was going to have a gin and tonic, I could pick any non-alcoholic gin and it would taste absolutely top drawer.
Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't know the difference, to be honest. And I'm sure vodka's pretty much similar. So my thing is that whilst whiskey is my favorite drink by a country mile, whiskey is only able to be made with alcohol in it. And that means that you can only drink so much of it. Right. And I think that yeah.
Are you putting whiskey into room 101?
No, do you know what? I don't even know where.
Because you can't have a driving drum.
I'm gonna put down my thing that my main pet hate. I just sort of didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna put it down there, and I feel like it's definitely gonna get nailed into going to room 101. But it's bots, right? Because they've ruined casual purchasing, and whiskey has become like trainers or PlayStations or whatever it is that people commoditize and sell, and it's bots because it's bots because bots have ruined the chance to ever be able to buy a bottle of Springbank 18 without really having to work overly hard or have cultivated a relationship with a local shop. And so I would like to put bots into room 101 because I can't think of any single positive for anyone other than people that have bots,
other than those dirty flippers.
No, it's not just that, is it? I mean, you could have a bot to collect, or you could have a bot because you're a drinker. The point is you don't have. Now, I know what you're saying. You give me a face sign, but the point is, if you don't have a bot, you have to work overly hard to be able to actually get a bottle of whiskey that you might want.
Personally, I hope that anyone that uses a bot basically becomes a victim of fraud, because that's what's going to happen eventually. You're basically giving hackers somewhere your bank details,
right?
To complete a purchase, you're putting everything in for it to auto checkout.
I guess unless you've built your own bot or whatever, if you could do that, right?
Yeah, don't know, but so I hope you all become victims of fraud because you've cost me many a bottle.
It's not even just that. It's not even just the money, as in
it's the laziness of it as well.
It's the time. It's the time equates to everything. The extra time you have to spend. You think back to episode 1, we were joking about it, but to get a bottle of Springbank local barley this year was so difficult.
Yeah.
it was just way too difficult. And that's only really become in the last 3 years. Before that, it was easy. It's only really become in the last few years as more and more people started buying into to whiskey. So for me, whiskey bots, as in bots that people have set up to specifically go and buy whiskey, can 100% get in Room 101.
Along with the person along with the person that set it up.
Yeah, or is selling them.
May you
whatever.
rot in the chamber and have nothing but Jura to drink forever.
just Jura for the rest of your life.
Yeah, even though it's not down there.
So that feels like an easy one to put in Room 101 because that's really, I can't think of a single positive
there is
to them.
Right, it's basically
zero.
cheating.
All right, here we go. Done. So is there anything else you want to pitch for Room 101 or, or is that a good thing? I mean, we've discussed
I quite like that. It was 5.5 because mine was made up on the spot, but no, I like that. And I think that's
good,
it's a good little idea we can maybe throw towards guests in the future.
Oh, yeah, we could do. And we have got a few guests lined up to come on soon, so we just need to give them a nudge and pin down a date. Well, as always, for me, I just say thanks very much for listening. Yep. Much appreciated. And I believe we're doing back to pods once a week, Mike, right?
We should be. Now, work is going slightly easier on me. And
fantastic.
There's less flat pack furniture to make, which I'll cover another time.
You've been doing loads of flat pack.
Yeah, that's that. I could do a whole pod talking about flat pack and how much I hate it. But
it takes so long to assemble, doesn't it? That's the thing.
It does, and it's just unnecessary. But I just hate people that make flat pack instructions. When it's,
do you at least have like a drill to speed up the?
Oh no, I got really, really good drill, really good stuff. But it's when you're not putting frigging numbers on panels that are numbered. I'll just guess, shall I? Yeah, excellent.
We once did one of those massive IKEA wardrobes. So it's like about 3 wardrobes together, which ends up looking a lot like a fitted wardrobe, but it isn't. Yeah, but it really looks like one because it takes up most of the wall it goes to. And I just took it took like 2 or 3 of us like 3 days to put it together, working most of it each day. And then you think when you reflect back and go, that was a real bargain. But if you actually work out your time to do it, it isn't a bargain.
No,
it's great. The end product is great, but the time that you have to spend putting it together, my days.
I prefer to pay a man to come in and do some like nice woodwork. And
could have just had one, just fit. You probably could have the same money, just had someone come and build a custom wardrobe at home.
2.5 days.
Yeah.
Sore arms, sore hands, very angry man, very tired.
Well, you've done well today considering how angry and tired you are. So,
but so again, thanks for listening. Make sure you check us out on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and soon to be Blue Sky, if I ever get any invitations. I've actually got on there first. I think I might be the only whiskey person actually on Blue Sky. So kudos to me on that, because I think I'm currently the most popular person in the whiskey world on there, because there is no other. So technically I'm number 1, so thanks. Follow us, like, subscribe, leave a review, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.